Psychedelics are increasingly piquing interest.
Have you ever taken mushrooms, walked outside into your backyard, and talked to what you thought was a tree for 2 hours until you realized you were talking to your landscaper?
There's a growing fight to make psychedelics legalized once again in the United States. The term psychedelics referring to a class of drugs including magic mushroom, LSD, and MDMA, otherwise called ecstasy.
I don't think psychedelics are the answer to the world's problems, but they could be a start.
Once demonized as a counterculture threat, they're now being re-examined for possible treatment for anxiety, PTSD, depression, and spiritual healing. One of the latest celebrities to discuss psychedelics is journalist and former host of The View, Lisa Ling, who gifted her mom a magic mushroom journey and captured it on camera.
Not to discount therapy, but this doesn't come out in therapy.
No, this is a therapy.
Traditional therapy.
Yeah.
You're there with the therapist, and your mom is going through it, and you guys are saying this doesn't happen in therapy. What she was experiencing.
No. You know, as scary as this sounds, I really believe that there was an exorcism that happened with my mom. Kendis, she screamed for 6 hours straight. And at some point she was mumbling and growling. And the therapist said this may have been a pre-verbal. You know, we don't know what we're carrying. We may have had traumatic events in our own lives, but we could be carrying them intergenerationally.
Wow, I am shooketh, and thank goodness Kendis is here to expound. Wow, you went all the way in on this one, huh?
Yeah. Besides talking with Lisa, I also went to the Netherlands and was at a retreat, Beckley retreat, where they rung in the new year with magic mushroom. And there was one kid who was there who told me that it cured his Tourette's. And it's fascinating to see the before and the after. Now, there are plenty of studies about the positive impact of it. But for a 78-year-old woman, Lisa Ling's mom, to say yes to something like this and to go through this experience, and obviously she had to have somebody who was licensed and knew what she was doing to go through this, it kind of brought out so many deep-seated trauma that her mom had held for so many years. And Lisa was like, it's not for everybody, but it's so much better than the therapy, the talk therapy that she had been experiencing.
That her mom had been having,
for so many years,
And did they say she was growling and maybe even speaking in a different tongue? I mean, you hear the term intergenerational trauma. I think that to me sounded like they tapped into some of that.
So the experience was very physical for Lisa Ling's mom, and also very vocal. I don't know if you could hear it, but during the interview itself, Lisa's mom they're just sitting there and recording, and Lisa's mom is in the background, Mary, is just kind of like growling and screaming, and it might sound like pain, but she was working out a lot of demons that she had built in.
Everything's flooding out. You're detoxing.
Yeah, for 8 decades.
I don't know if I'd be scared or laughing hysterically at the
I think I would be doing both.
Yeah. She's growling now. Would you ever give your mom's mushrooms?
Oh God, no. She could use it, but I'm not strong like Lisa Ling.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like it's not for everybody.
Right.
And as we mentioned, it is largely legal in this country. It is for therapy. It's legal in Colorado, DC, as well as Oregon.
I'm moving.
You're moving.
Would you ask Janice to?
My mom's high right now.
I mean, you were conceived on drugs.
I was definitely conceived on drugs. 100%. So you don't get this unless you're under the influence. But it's funny because I dated a woman who was a reporter for a while who talked about hallucinogenics, and she said these are, and I'm like, you're crazy, and now it's all coming out there.
It's increasingly part of the conversation. I wrote a book about it personally, and a lot of the studies are being done right now to try to see if it should be brought back, because many of these things were legal, including MDMA, which was used for couples therapy, and whether they should be brought back right now for therapy.
Amazing.
Well, I see a part 2 to this episode. Kendis, always fantastic to see
All right.
you.
And on that note, I brought you guys something.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
with Kendis, streaming exclusively on Pix 11 Plus, Fridays at 12:30.